There we go. Got us one. Feels like a large one. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about an app that I use to plan some of my fishing trips and find spots before I get to the water and catch fish just like this. So stay tuned. We're going to break it all down in today's video and let's get right into it. Okay, so before we get back on the water and actually go ahead and fish, let's go ahead and break down this app and show you how I'm actually using it to plan my days on the water and find more fish. You guys know that I've used Navionics in the past. I've done a few different videos on that, and I do still use Navionics. That's a great way to plan fishing trips in advance and see what you're looking at. But this Omnia Premium Pro app is going to be amazing for planning trips, especially because they actually just signed a license with Navionics. So you're gonna be able to get your Navionics data right on this app, and I'll show you how that's gonna be useful in just a second. That should be coming within about a month, but for now, we just have the base map here, and we're gonna show you how I still use it to break down my trips. And then once that Navionics portion comes, it's gonna get even better here. So this is the app. We're gonna take a look at Lake Erie here first, and then we'll show you the actual spot we were fishing in today's video towards the end here. So jumping into Lake Erie first here, the first thing we're gonna do is just go ahead and break down the actual features of this app. So in the bottom right corner here, this is your layers, and that's gonna be what I'm gonna utilize most for this app specifically. So your base layer right now is the CMAP social chart. That paired with the bottom hardness and vegetation, that's gonna be hit or miss, to be completely honest with you. It depends on how often people fish and upload their data from their lakes. So CMAP is Laurent's version of Navionics, essentially, to a degree. The social map is when they upload what they've graphed throughout the day. You can record what you graphed and upload it, and then Laurent's can take that data and create maps. So as you can see, Lake Erie, like the bay, pretty well graphed here. And then once you actually get out onto the lake, there's not as much out there. So we're gonna take a look at the bay here just to describe what I'm talking about. Then you have your water clarity and water temperature. They're going to use satellite imagery and other types of features like that to be able to give you accurate data there. So if we want to look at water clarity instead, you can see the bay, the back of the bay is actually the clearest. So we've had a lot of north wind coming lately. We're in the winter here. So you can see that north wind pounds this bank on the outside of the lake, but right in the bay there is protected and it's cleaner water. So you can utilize that to find where the cleanest water is in your lake if something that's what those fish look for or anything like that. You can look at water temperature as well. So it'll give you like a heat map based on water temperature, and you can see what's warmer, what's colder, and find different areas. Springtime, that's going to be an excellent way to find the warmest water in your lake. So you can find like a little heat map of it, find where just that water is a slightly degree or two warmer. I've talked about that numerous times, and be able to catch fish that way. And then, like I said, Navionics, that's coming soon, so you'll be able to get that. You can have your bottom hardness and your vegetation as well. So we're gonna take a look at water clarity right now. Now, biggest thing is your weather layers down here. So you can see some other ones of like air temperature, precipitation could be a good one to see, like if you're gonna get rained on, lightning, storm cells, that's all great. Wind is going to be the one that I use the most. So you can check wind here, and it will literally give you the direction of the wind that it's going, so you can physically see in person on a map which way it's going to blow. So a lot of times what I'll do, I'll look at a Navionics chart and say, okay, the wind's supposed to blow from the southwest. Then I got to go to my weather app and find which way the wind's blowing. Then I go and like kind of triangulate. I basically do the exact same thing they're doing for you here, but I triangulate, is the wind going to go where I want it to go, and then plan my trips that way. Now you can see it straight up right on your phone here with a 24-hour forecast. So you can go ahead and hit play, and it'll show you how that wind will change. You can see that wind flips once that storm rolls through tonight. And as soon as that wind flips, if you were going to be on Lake Erie tonight, you'd have to get off at that time of water. So right now is fine, probably about 10 o'clock tonight. No one's going to be out there at 10 o'clock tonight, but you can utilize that to plan ahead in advance. So you have all that kind of information. You can pause it at any point. So like I paused it right here, and you can see how hard that wind's blowing, which direction it's going to be blowing. You can utilize this days in advance to plan your trips, so you can see which areas are going to get beat by the wind. This, you can see the wind's going to blow this way, so it's going to blow all that dirty water out on the lake. in a couple of days, that stuff might not be fishable because of how much it gets beat by the wind here. Even though it was windy 2 days ago, that mud will last for a little bit longer. So that's how I'm going to utilize it. I know there's some other things you can do, like if you zoom out, you have these little pins here. So I can click on Howard Eaton Reservoir, never been there in my life, but there's fishing reports. So you can see there's a fishing report, recommended products, people that fish there. So if you have a local body of water that you like to fish, you can see if there's any reports there, types of baits that are working, all your current conditions, everything you need to know there, your basic like weather app. So it basically combines your weather app and your mapping app into one to be able to utilize that for fishing. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at where we were fishing yesterday. So I'm going to change my layers back here. We're going to go back to the social chart with the wind so I can show you how I lined up what I was looking for here. So this is the spot right here that I was fishing where I was catching those fish in the beginning of today's video. We're gonna catch some more later in today's video. I was fishing this point right here, so I know that the river current comes down this way, and when it comes down river, what I was also doing was utilizing the wind to see where it was gonna speed that current up so that those fish would have to hide behind something, because I know it's winter and they're gonna wanna sit behind a current break. So that wind was actually blowing with the river, and I utilized the social map to find this little point with a depression right behind it, and that's where those fish were sitting right dipped in behind that depression. So I knew that the current speed would pick up the fastest there, which it was. I actually went and fished another spot that looked exactly like this, and there was not as much current because the wind wasn't combined with it because it was at a different angle in the river. So I was able to see the wind blew perfectly down through there. I could do that the night before I did my 24-hour forecast, knew that that spot was going to be the place to be, got there first thing in the morning, and caught a fish immediately, started today's video off, and now let's go back out on the water and show you how we put all this information together to catch some more fish. And before we head out on the water to continue fishing, if you do want to download the Omnia Premium Pro app, there'll be a link down below. You can help the channel out a ton by checking out the app and giving it a try, as well as helping yourself catch more fish. It helped me catch more fish. It was the only spot I caught fish on all day, and I planned it out with the Omnia Premium Pro app before I went out on the water. So I'll be utilizing this a lot more in the future. I've utilized Navionics for a while, and as soon as they upload Navionics into here, this is going to be a game changer to catch a lot more fish and plan your trips the night before, weeks before, however long before. So check it out down in the description below, but for now, let's get back out there and catch some more fish. All right, so now after planning my day with that Omnia Pro app and taking a look at the weather forecasts, bottom charts, everything we talked about previously, we've lined up on this spot here, which we'd already showed you, that little point that has the current dropping off on the back, which is perfect for right now. We have 43-degree water temperature, so the water's cold. These fish are gonna be hiding behind something and trying to get into current break, so we found our current break using the map. We also found that the wind is pushing the current along with this, which is amplifying the speed. We knew that from the wind forecast. So everything is lined up for those fish to be right here. So we're gonna go ahead and fish right here and see if there's any fish hanging out for us. This allows, like I said, it allows me to find fish before I get out on the water, or at least narrow down where I wanna fish. You don't have to fish the entire river, especially in the winter like this. You don't have a whole lot of time because the days are short, or the ability to run around and fish a bunch of different areas, because those fish aren't gonna eat very quick moving baits this time of year. You're gonna have to fish these spots really slowly, milk your bait in place. So all we're gonna do is really throw these swim baits. We have some other baits as well, Ned rigs, jigs, blade baits. We'll see what they want today. I know that first one, beginning of today's video, caught that one on a swim bait. So we're gonna stick with the swim bait and see if they'll keep eating it. But there's a variety of baits that I can use here, but every one is a bottom bouncing bait. It stays on the bottom, it holds tight, and I'm fishing it very slowly. You can see how slow I'm reeling my bait right here. So when you don't have that ability to run around and fish a bunch of spots, planning your trip in advance can help you catch a lot of fish. It also helps in places that you've never been to before. I scout out lakes before I ever go there. And if you want to see me put this app to the test on a lake I've never been to before, there's a fish. Oh, he came off. So apparently there are some here. If you'd like to see me put that app to the test on some places I've never been to before and show you what I would do if I've never been to a lake, let me know down in the comments below. I can put that video together too. But I would basically do the same thing. I scout bodies of water before I go there. I can do some research on YouTube videos and stuff that I know about the lake, figure out what those fish like, and then utilize that app to go in and find those places, and in conjunction with the weather, figure out where they're going to be on those given days. If there's a spot that might not play because the weather's not right, but I know it might play 2 days later and I'm going to be there 2 days from now, different things like that. That's how I'm going to utilize that app. So let's milk this spot. We just got another bite there. Let's see if we can catch us another one off this spot and show you how I put all this together and catch some fish. There's one. Right on the backside of that point, I literally felt my bait drop off the backside edge right there, and we got us a big old smallmouth. So let's get him up in the boat here before he comes off. Come here, dude. And just like that, we were able to put the information the app gave us together, utilize what we were seeing along with what's out here on the water. We can see where that contour line drops right off and creates a little depression, so they can sit in there, wait for winter, but as soon as a little minnow comes by, they come up and grab it. So we got us 2 nice ones here today, utilizing that app and catching fish just like that, planning our trips in advance. If you want to check that app out down below, there'll be a link to check that out. There you can get a free trial, test it out for yourself, and then there's a video right here if you want to see how to rig that swim bait up and catch fish just like that. Check that one out, hit that subscribe button down below, and thanks for watching. See you, dude.